Today finds us in this little city park. I actually stopped in here about 2 years ago. I was driving down the highway and I saw signs for it and it just looked like an interesting place. Looked like it had some history. So I stopped in here and kind of walked around and I saw some interesting things and vowed that I'd come back and maybe do a video someday. Well, today's the day. We can't metal detect here, but there's no sign saying we can't walk around and look for stuff, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to walk around and look for stuff. There's a lot of Civil War history here. There's some good Indian history here. In fact, the Shawnee Indians are supposed to have had a little village right at a spring that we're going to walk up to in a few minutes. But first we're going to walk up this stream right here. You can see it's full of trash. And I'm not very hopeful we'll find anything of extreme historic interest, but the spring's going to be really cool, I promise you. Now I was here a couple years ago. It was the middle of the summer, and in the water there was a lot of watercress and all kinds of stuff growing, and I could not really see the bottom very well. But where I could see the bottom, it was quite interesting because there's tons of pottery, and I actually found a couple bottles that I left, so they're probably still up there. But we're going to work our way up to that area. But first we're going to walk up this little stream that's loaded with trash, unfortunately. But we're going to look. Who knows what we might find in here. Does anyone have any idea what that might be? It's obviously chained to the tree, so it's supposed to be here. And it's got a lock on it, but it's just a wooden box with no holes. Isn't that weird? I'm very curious about that. And these streams get so polluted with trash because of pipes like that. You see those pipes come from a parking lot, which is right up there. So any trash that is left in the parking lot by people that just throw it down or it gets blown in there with the wind will come down those pipes and dump right into the stream here. And it's pretty much par for the course everywhere I've been in the world. So it's not just America. This looks like this might be the handle to something. What do you think? No, it's a stick. It's my first non-find of the day. It looks like a credit card or a bank card or something. What do you think? It is a MasterCard. Imagine that. I'm going to put my hand over the number. Kind of strange that this would be out here. Probably stolen and pitched in the water. Oh well, I'm not sure if I should put that in my pocket or not, but I guess we will. And because I just found this credit card, I'm going to keep a sharp eye out for other things that might have been in a wallet or a purse, because someone might have stolen it and just dumped it in this creek, so there could be more things like it nearby. In fact, if you look right up here, there's a little crossover bridge that people can walk on, and that might be where they threw it in. So between here and there may be more stuff, or further down that I missed. Here's an old shotgun shell, which is kind of weird considering we are solidly in town. It's not too old because it has a steel case. The older ones had brass. It's kind of odd. Hope it wasn't murder. Got a little bucket. Not very old. I'm almost up to that bridge, so the idea about there being more stuff with this credit card, you know, more cards or whatever, did not pan out. But it could have washed further down below me. I wonder what that is. That look like anything? Hey, I'm not going to touch it. We'll keep our eye open for more. I'm just looking at that bicycle. There's a bicycle and some other stuff in there. I'm not even sure what it is. And I started walking again, and there's the driver's license, which probably goes to that credit card that I found up there. So let's see who it belongs to. Now it's just a high school ID. Looked like a driver's license, but you'll notice as we're going along the stream here, there's a wall on this side, and there's a wall on this side. What that tells me is that this was panelized at one time, or at least dug out, and those walls were put up so that the water would flow through without causing any type of flooding. And that also tells me that all the old stuff has either already been dug out of here, or there's so much new stuff on top that we will never see it. But we're going to look anyway. I see a pair of pants down here. I think we should check the pockets. I was afraid to. I guess we'll let them go. Ew. That could be an older bottle right here. It's broken. Let's take a look at it. Girls' night. Probably girls' night out, I guess. That's definitely, yeah, there's out. It's definitely not older. You can see this plastic here, so this isn't going to be a great area for old stuff. That's not plastic, that's metal. It's a little horn of some kind. Alright. We'll keep looking and hoping. So I'm a little further ahead on this stream now, and it is definitely channelized, as you can see behind me. In fact, there's really not much reason to look here. There definitely will not be anything older than this concrete. But we'll walk along a little ways, and the spring itself has already branched off. So we'll get up here a little ways, and then we'll pop over to the spring branch and walk it up. And there should be older stuff there. Not as much, but older. Looks like an old mummy sleeping bag. Empty. I guess they don't want us going down there, do they? Get some type of card? Yeah, I'm not gonna pick it up. You know what they are, don't ya? Right there. Sunglasses. Parts of one anyway. We're gonna leave them. Spooky. So we're over on the branch of the run where the spring water is coming out, and it's much clearer. And I'm seeing all these weird pipes, which I guess are some sort of irrigation pipes, or used to be irrigation pipes, or water pipes. Strange. Look pretty old. Weird how they're not round in the middle. Never seen any like that, but they're all over here. There's hundreds of them. No bottle bottom. Not very old though. Probably less old than I am. As I was walking into here, there are signs all over the place saying no camping on public property. And I was thinking to myself, why would anyone want to camp here? I mean, you're right in the middle of town. But apparently people do camp here and they make a mess. I don't know if this is like homeless person stuff or not, but not a bad jacket. Couple jackets there. We come over here and you can see piles of trash. And I guess this is where they live, or lived. All these little side trails going down through here. You can see there's a path here that really has no reason to be here, that goes down across those rocks. I suspect over in there is going to be another camp. Want to go check it out? I do. Well, that trail did not lead us to another camp. It kind of just petered out in the woods, so maybe people are goofing off back there or doing whatever they're doing. But no camp, but it does smell like urine, so maybe that's what they're up to. I don't know. Anyway, let's get back to this stream, and we'll walk up the stream and look for good stuff. I'm going to show you a little green plant that's growing in the water here, and it's called watercress, and it is delicious. Normally you want to get it when it's very young. As it gets older, it gets very, I guess peppery is the word for it. It gets very strong, but it's still good. I'm not going to eat anything that has touched the water. Actually, there's a couple different plants here. This is watercress right here, and I think that's spearmint right there. We'll go ahead and take a quick bite of it. I really did eat it. You notice I didn't get any that was underwater because we don't know what's been going on in the stream right here, and we don't want to get any parasites. Pretty good, but it's very strong. It's kind of a burning, almost like horseradish taste. So you want to get one that's smaller. Now let's look at the other plant that I'm pretty sure is spearmint. This one right here. You can eat this too. We're going to try it. We're not going to eat the one with a bug on it right there though. All right, ready? Yep. Tastes good. I'll wad up a big chunk of it in my jaw and not actually swallow it, but just kind of use it like chewing tobacco. Pretty good that way. Unfortunately, I waited too long this spring because the watercress is really tall now, and we're not going to be able to see as much of the water as I had hoped. But we can still look around. I see a lot of bare dirt up there on the hillside, and we'll look at that as well. But if you look here in the water, that's watercress there, and see how tall it is? I should have been here a month ago. So yeah, kind of blew this trip, but we'll have fun anyway. We'll keep looking. So I'm standing in that big pile of watercress that I just showed you, and is a perfect example here of why you never want to eat anything out of the water or drink the water, even though it's nice and clear. If you look right there, that's a dead raccoon that is rotting away. We're not going to get any closer than what we are because some of you have sensitivities, but never drink from a stream like this or eat the vegetation that is actually under the water. And this is kind of an interesting thing over here too. You notice how you have the honeysuckle right here and honeysuckle here, but you have the watercress at my feet that goes right up this little channel to that area. That tells me there's a spring right there. If we go over to there, there's going to be water coming out of the hillside. This was probably dug out at one time, but let's go look at it. I wish there wasn't so much growth in here that we could actually see the bottom, but I think we're out of luck in that regard. I didn't see any frogs. Yeah, there's a lot of duckweed right here, so we're not going to be able to tell, but look at the glass. Ooh, that could hurt you. Clear a little spot here and take a look at it. See where I just touched the glass and muddied the water up, and see how it's flowing this way. So that's telling me there's definitely a spring right up in here, and the water's coming out of the ground, flowing down through there into the main channel. And there are great places to look with a metal detector too at the heads of those little springs. So there could be a main channel like this, and there may be dozens of those springs off to the sides, spread out for miles. And those are places where people would build their cabins and homes, and maybe the Indians would camp as well. So what I'm doing is just kind of peeking in the water here. Oh, look at that. That's probably a snail, but it could be a little button, to see if we can see any Indian artifacts, or there's some nails over there, or bullets, or anything interesting. I don't see anything though, do you? I do smell that raccoon, which is just above me. Woo-wee, does it stink. All right, let's go back here and look at this little thing here. Where was it? Yeah, this is a shell. Yeah, just a little snail shell. We'll keep our eyes open. Now, as I'm working my way along looking in the water, I'm not looking for things that are very obvious, like a pocket watch sitting there or a cannonball sitting there, although that could happen. But what's more likely is that you'll see an unusual shape. Now, you've probably seen that show on TV called Diggers or something like that, and they're always yelling out roundness, you know, when they find coins and stuff. But there's some truth to that. When you're in nature looking, you don't often find things that are round or have round, nice smooth edges, or that are straight. So I'm always looking for things that have straight edges, or just pieces of straight edges, or things that have an unusually round shape, because you don't find that very often in nature. You find curved things, but not round things. What I see right here is something down there that has unusually straight edges. Do you see it? I suspect it's a piece of bone. But let's go ahead and look at it. That's exactly what it is. This is a piece of rib bone. It's been sawed there and sawed there. So this was somebody's supper. We're getting into a bottle spill right here. Let's just take a quick look at them. I don't see anything particularly old, but we're not going to keep anything anyway. That's a piece of iron. All right, first bottle, whole one. I'm not sure what kind that is. It says J. Ritter, Philadelphia. We're going to leave that back in the weeds, and there's another one. Let's look at it. Ooh, cork top. Number 6. I should know what this is. You find tons of these. A medicine bottle of some kind. You can look right here along the edges and see how it's graduated. Right there for the dose. Let's leave it. I felt something down here with my hand. I guess not. Here's another. Here's 2 more bottles. Let's look at them. Listerine. This little cork top, Listerine. That's a pretty little bottle. It's clear though. I wish I could keep that one, but I'm not going to. And a Welch's grape juice bottle. I've never seen one like that. That's awesome. I'd keep that too if I could. I could cut it off right here with a saw and make a little glass out of it for like shots of Jägermeister, which I don't drink with my Patreon's money. We're obviously getting into a dump area as we're moving up. There's a lot of pieces of bone and iron. That's bone. That's an old can right here. Lots of broken bone in here. That's really thin. I wonder what that is. That's an unusual one. I don't normally find bones that thin, that are that big. I'm going to keep that for now. I'm looking for arrowheads and other stuff. There's iron. Is that iron? That's a piece of rock. Something here. Stick. Exciting. We're just looking along here. Oh, another thing. I'm also going to tell you about sunglasses. Polarized glasses really help a lot, and I'd have a polarized lens on this camera right here, except that once I put it underwater, water gets behind it and I have to take it off, so it doesn't work. I'm going to make a video about glasses for you. It'll be coming up after this one. This is actually kind of cool. There's lots of bottles in here, mostly broken, but still. I see tons of pottery. Isn't that neat? That's a glass. I'm going to put the camera underwater because I cannot actually see under there. And I'm just going to zoom along and see if you guys can see anything on the video that I can't see up here. Oh, I did see one bottle and a bunch of pottery. Let's look at the green bottle. It's broken. What is that? Pale something. Crass pail. Ever heard of crass pail? Neato. There's a little cork bottle down here. Cork top. Foley. Chicago, USA. It's kind of cool. And a broken top there. A lot of broken ones in here, but there's some cool whole ones too. Pretty neat, huh? That was a snake when I first picked it up. Look at all the trash someone threw up underneath the tree there. They probably had a camp here a while ago. Lots of pottery and bottles in here. You never know. Let's look at the bottle. Let's look at that. Some of the stuff is a lot older, and you can see there's an insulator from the railroad, so I'd say that people gathered that up and threw it in a pile here. Probably doing exactly what I'm doing. There's an old milk bottle. That's what they didn't keep. I won't do that, I promise. A lot of pottery and broken bottles here too. There's a bottle down there. Let's look at it. Ooh, I like that one. I think it's a little bit older than the others. Piece of pottery. Pretty. I saw an oyster shell up here. That's why I originally turned the camera on. Another bottle here. Watkins. Cork top. Little cork top bottle. That's the cute little guy. This is the oyster shell I originally saw. I always like it when I find oyster shells when you're a long ways away from the shore. That tells you there's a dump, although we already knew there's a dump here. This is copper of some kind. It could be part of some roofing or something. We want to leave everything just as we find it, though. Looks like a whole tea service up here. There's a plate. That's broken. There's a bottle. Another Coke bottle. Winchester, Virginia. A broken cup. And tons of bottles up here. These might be ones people gathered up. Yeah, they're all broken. I love looking around places like this. Even if we don't keep it, it's kind of cool because you just never know what might show up until they've been washed out, since these people were collecting them. I think those were collected up years ago. I wonder what that is. What do you think that is? Kind of weird, huh? What is it? Giant bone. Wow. You can see how it was cut and sawed right there, so we know that was somebody's supper. Big soup bone, probably, or stew bone. Jeez. All kinds of stuff in here, huh? Is that a lid off something? That's the whole frying pan. Alright. We're getting up to the spring area. This is where the actual spring head is. You can see it's loaded with watercress. So we probably won't see much up there, but we're going to keep looking because there's a lot more here that we can see than I thought we would. Alright. There's another bottle there. Ah, this is so cool. I love it. This must have been the town dumping area back in the day. Lots of broken bottles. There's no propane cylinder right there for like a torch or camping. I think this is the spring head right here. It's nice and open, so we might be able to find some stuff in here. Lots of broken pottery and bottles, and I see some iron. Oh, there's a toothbrush. I bet you that's a bone-handled toothbrush right there. What do you think? I'll just go ahead and pick it up. Yep, that's a bone-handled toothbrush, so that's an old one. See anything else? I wish I had a polarized lens for you, but I don't normally bring it when I'm on the water because it gets wet and fogs up. There's something there. See, straight edges. We know that's not natural. I don't know what it is. It's a piece of bone, but it looks almost like it's been worked, doesn't it? See how flat it is? It's unusual. That's a marble. See the marble? That's pretty cool. It's a little marble, very light. I wonder how I knew this wasn't a musket ball and was a marble. I just did. I guess maybe it's because of the size, I suppose, because they look about alike, really. There's some homeless people over there. See them walking in there. Look. Carrying bags of stuff. I see another marble. Do you see it? It's right in the center of the screen. I told you it's a red one. Looking at this watercress, this pile of watercress, you see this open spot in here? If you look really close, you can see the water level is way above the water level of where I'm standing right here. It's like at least a foot higher. So I was wondering what was going on with that. Then I looked down inside and it's really weird. It looks deep. Let's go under and see what's in there. Hold your breath. I'm not going in with you though. Now I have no idea what you guys just saw, so let me know when you watch the video. I'm walking along this little path and I can see some bare dirt here. And there's a lot of stuff that happened in this area, so I'm always on the lookout for old stuff. And I can see a lid right here, like a salt shaker, I guess. That's probably not too old, and a little piece of porcelain, which I thought actually was a pipe stem when I first saw it, but that's not what it is. Let's just walk along the edge of this path and take a quick peek and see if we can find anything older than a salt shaker top. Here's a spot right here where someone has just dug up the ground and reburied it. Now, I don't know if they were metal detecting or hiding something there, but I think we should dig it up. I'm almost afraid what might be in there. They definitely used a shovel, though. You can see where it cut through the mud. That's fresh, man. That's real fresh. They're probably out here right now looking at us. But as I continue to walk over here, I notice there's some more holes that are dug. So someone's out here metal detecting and digging holes in this park. This is a hole here. This is definitely older than the other one, as well as this one here. This is older too. This has been rained on since it was dug. But that one is really fresh. We might see them out here. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll sneak up on them. They're not supposed to be here. And here's another hole, and that's an old one too. That's older than the others. There's definitely somebody out here digging. Won't find them. They're here. There's a little dead groundhog right there. Poor dude. Lived through winter and something killed him right in the spring. We're not going to look at him too close though. More digging evidence. That's an old brick too. See where they dug this hole, and there's their target right there. They just left laying on top of the ground. That little crack baggie right here. I'm not going to touch it. But I've seen cops. I know what they look like. This woods is littered with sleeping bags and blankets. That hasn't even been rained on. That looks like it probably has. Unfortunately, there's trash everywhere too. Wow, no wonder they don't want the homeless in here. Yeah, there's nail clippers. Treasure! What do you think? Should we keep them? I think we should. Just left that sleeping bag that hadn't been rained on. Here's another little campsite, some type of sleeping pad and trash everywhere. Newspapers. I guess we could figure out when these were left. Well, there's some gloves, so we know it was winter time. So I'm up underneath the bridge, and it looks like an old homeless camp up in there. You can see the cardboard and some sleeping stuff. I'm not going to mess around with it though. I'll probably just use it when it rains. There's a knife. What do you think? Murder. That's a cheap one. I'm going to leave that right there, just in case. What do you think's in that little baggie right there? Should we check it out? Not much. I did crawl up in there and just looked at it just to be, just to make sure. And there is somebody actually living there. There's a work schedule for this week, and it's a flashlight and a few other personal belongings. And if I had a 20 in my pocket, I'd leave it up there for him. There's somebody that has a job, and the schedule is this week, and he has to sleep under a bridge on a piece of cardboard. That's such a shame, isn't it? There's a little bed there too. I also saw a fishing rod right around the edge here. I think it's probably his. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm not even gonna go over there. Poor dude, poor dudette. So that wraps it up for this little adventure in this park. Walked up the stream, we found a bunch of bottles, saw some really interesting things. I hope the video was worth watching. It was definitely worth making. I really enjoyed myself out here today. And I have one more adventure I think I'm going to try to get into before I have to get home. It's a beautiful day, so we just may have to take the time. Let's go do it.